Carol Zenek made a movie on it years ago. Well, I'm going to show you the razor's edge in this book. The next one is don't think in reverse. And that's where most people live. They live in the past. They're always worried about what has happened in the past. Let it go. It doesn't matter. And the last one, the vacuum of prosperity. Create a vacuum for the good that you desire. Now listen, I wrote that in 1984. I have been studying these subjects ever since. That's 36 years. I kept studying these subjects. I teach it all over the world. Well, we've created a master class where I really dig in deep in all this. It is a phenomenal class, and that's what I'm teaching, all these subjects. Every Tuesday, we teach. Woo! Oh my goodness. Talk about one of the most powerful calls of the year. Had to start off the day with a little bit of Nick and Neno getting off the day with 1% talks. I had to throw a little bit of Bob in there. Wow. When I tell you going to the Break the Code event, when I saw Nick speak, when he lit up that stage as one of the first individuals to go ahead and get up there, I've seen him for years. I've heard his story, but I've never actually been able to see him in person. So to see his energy, to be able to have him break everything down and now have him on 1% talks, this is just the beginning of something great. And I want to go ahead and touch on a couple different topics through that call because that was such a moving call. So I'm fired up, family. Today we're going to be getting into the fact of the matter is that we all individually are God's highest form of creation. And Nick was a perfect example just to go ahead and show and prove what we all are capable of, no matter what cards we are dealt with in our life. So I love that. I really definitely want to touch on a couple of those topics. So before we go ahead and dive into the Thursday, let's get a little bit of gratitude down below. What is everybody feeling grateful for? There's a lot to be grateful getting off of that call. If we can't find something to be grateful after that, I don't know what it's going to take. So let me go ahead and get live, and it's game time. What are you grateful for coming into today? Let's go. Here we go. Okay, IG's tapped in. We are live. Let's go. I'm grateful to be alive, family. I'm grateful for the morning rituals, getting deep with the morning routine. I'm going to go ahead and drop my photo in the chat. We are coming up on day 365. I know Shane is getting close. I'm so proud of you, family. I'm grateful, just like I tell you, I'm grateful to be able to even move these things, right? Because there's so many things in life that we take for granted. Literally to be able to go ahead and grab a drink with a hand, not everybody can even do that. So I'm grateful for every little thing that we have the ability to go ahead and do, even the things that we take for granted, even being able to go ahead and pick up a pen or a pencil and take notes, after seeing that call. It hits different, right? Even talking about going hitting leg day. So many are skipping leg day. What happens if we don't have the chance to go do it without any legs? So what a day to really sit in gratitude. What a day to really put life into perspective. So here we go. Let's get into it. I'm grateful for the dream team, grateful for the family, grateful for all of you. And today's call really shifted something, okay? When I saw him speak on stage and I heard his story, what's interesting for me is his story was kind of backwards, right? You see, as a child, for him, he was born without any legs. He was born without one arm. He was born with pretty much one arm and one finger. So ever since he was born, he was hit with so many obstacles. He was hit with so much opposition. And it was so interesting to hear on the call because it makes sense why it is that where he's at today. Because if you really think about it, two of the biggest lessons that he had growing up, one was failure, getting used to failure. And I've seen it through years of success. It's the ones who are able to go out and try, the ones who are able to go out and take the action and learn and get more confident, get more confidence as they do it, that really see the growth. So I know for him, think about it. There had to be so many things that he was doing that he failed at. Tying shoes, playing any type of sports, learning how to walk, right? It's actually crazy. He talked about he became a wrestler when he was in high school. He was so self-conscious and he was so inspired to become an athlete, to actually do some type of sports,
that his bone was actually growing a little bit longer than his skin. He amputated it 5 inches just so he could really go ahead and be a serious athlete and start going after his dreams. You see, for my life, I've always been an athlete. That was my whole life. That's all I knew. Going to college, here I am thinking I have a chance to go ahead and take it to the next level. And then I got injured. My life was taken in a matter of an instant as far as my sports career goes, right? In one night, just goes to show how crazy life is and how much decisions can impact where it is that we're going. You see, I'll never forget it. It was in college. It was a Wednesday night. And in college, we call it Wasted Wednesdays, right? And I'm not a drinker. So there was one night where there was a flag football game. There was a championship game, and some of my teammates are like, "Yo, D, come play this game. We need you." And I don't ever drink. And I was drinking 2 beers that night, and I went out and I played the game and I laid out. You know, it was one of the end of the game plays, and I laid out to go catch it in the end zone, and I caught it. And when I landed on my shoulder. And it's crazy to think about. I've never broken anything in my life, and right towards the end of my career, I literally broke my collarbone. Mind you, I'm terrified of needles. I've never broke anything, and I have a plate and 6 screws inside of my collarbone. So I know what it's like to have life hit you like a brick, to literally put you in a state where you didn't even know was possible. I was so depressed for the next couple of months. I was so tucked into my own head that I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to listen to other people. I didn't want to even think about anything because I'm thinking about my whole sports career was just ended. Now who am I? Think about your most dominant trait. Who are you if somebody were to pick that away from you? And that's exactly what happened to me. I had to figure out who am I without being an athlete. And I really had to develop my brain. I had to develop my mind. I had to develop my emotional intelligence. And that's why it was so cool to see Nick talk about that, because I know for a fact that's true. This 6 inches right here is one of the most important things that we could ever take the time to really learn and develop. Who it is that we are, what triggers us, where do our emotions come from? Do we have a vision yet? Right? Even for him, one of the other big important things he talked about is being able to have a vision. No matter what's going on in life, he talks about there's two types. We have a push and we have a pull. And he talked about for so many of us in our life, we're getting pushed. And eventually, when you get pushed long enough, we get burnt out. We get tired. We think about throwing in the towel. But you see, being able to get on the other side of understanding the pull, getting around a community, getting around like-minded people, getting around others that are winning, that have testimonies, that have these stories come from all different angles, just like the community that we have. This is why this is so special. This is such a big reason why this is so magical. Because you name it, I've been able to see pretty much any walk of life create serious amount of success. And I'm not even just talking about monetary. I'm talking about in all areas, being able to change completely as a person, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, you name it. People in third world countries, I've seen chairman hundreds. I've seen single mothers. I've seen single fathers. I've seen people who literally have no legs and one arm go out and create massive amounts of success. So that's a proven example that shows all of us it doesn't matter what deck of cards that we are born with. We all have the chance. We all have the ability to go out and create a life by design. And one of the biggest things I want to talk about right there, you have to think about it. Growing up with no legs, growing up with one arm, how much bullying, how much negativity, how many limiting beliefs do you think that he dealt with growing up his whole life trying to do anything? How many people do you think told him no? You're never going to be able to make it happen. You're never going to be able to do all these amazing things that you talk about, but being able to have the conviction, being able to understand and know that we are God's highest form of creation. We have higher faculties. We have imagination. We have creativity. We have will. We have reason. All things that Bob Proctor talks about, all things that Tony Robbins talks about, all things that all these 1%ers that he's around with, they understand. So I know, just being in the game for so many years, from just studying these 1%ers, that we all have access to laws of the universe. We all have access to higher faculties. We all have access to be able to go ahead and tap in to, I was actually thinking about it on my walk yesterday. I was taking a walk by myself, and I was thinking about what's the difference between confidence and Godfidence. Godfidence is knowing your truth. Godfidence is knowing who you really are. So just like Nick, when you find out your truth, when you realize that we have all these skills, talents, and abilities to go out and give to the universe, we stop being afraid of what other people think. We're ready to go out and take the action. We're ready to go out and do the things that make us feel a little bit nervous, because we start to realize on the other side of fear is where all this amazing growth is. He talked about it. He talked about it towards the middle of that call. For most of us, the visions that we lay out, the plans that we lay out as life goes by, most of the time it doesn't happen exactly how we envision it. He didn't see himself getting personally mentored by Tony Robbins, getting personally mentored by Ed Milet. That wasn't always a part of his vision. But this is the beauty of life. As we plant seeds, as we open doors, as we take the action steps, there's gonna be things that open up that we could never even imagine. And that's what's out there for every single one of us, because each one of us are God's highest form of creation. We all have the ability to go out and create a life by design. And for any of us, most of the time, it just takes the belief, getting around the right community, staying consistent, staying persistent, and knowing that we will only ever get as far as our level of belief. So family, with that being said, what a great way to go ahead and start off the day with Nick, one of my favorite speakers I've ever had a chance to see in person, to go ahead and give us these lessons, to go ahead and let us know that each and all of us, you have a unique thumbprint for a reason. You look different for a reason. Your voice and your story is yours. So go out and let's show the world what it is that we're made of, what's inside, and let's go be individuals of value. Just like on that call, none of them got paid on that call, but why are they at the level that they're at? Because of service, because of value, being able to give back on a continuous basis, and knowing that God is going to bless us 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times with whatever it is that we put out. It always comes back. So family, I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm so happy and excited for what is to come. And just know this is the beginning. Look at that. Years and years of putting in the work. Now Neno's about to be on a personal show with Nick to get exposed to other 1%ers that you never know what could happen. So it just goes to show what happens with time, consistency, passion, self-love, and knowing that it is already done. Time has to catch up. So family, I love you guys. I appreciate you. If nobody told you today, you are powerful. You are a leader. You are unstoppable. Let's go out and share our story. We can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. I love you, family. Let's go out and make it happen. It's game time. Dream team. Let's grow.